Hello, I'm going to be talking about the quarterly Lodge financial audit reports. My name is Ed Nodlin. I'm co-founder of Jetstream Innovations. I recently met Roger Sabo, treasurer, South Kingston, Rhode Island, Lodge 1899. He met Carrie Black, who I've been working with, and together Roger and Carrie developed a program to perform the quarterly audits on JSI's assessment platform called GapCross. I'm going to go over a few of the points that Roger shared with me and make a quick video, and then I'll show you the program itself. I'm going to do it really quick, so I'm not going to get into a lot of depth. If you're interested, we can certainly get into that. So here's some key points that Roger was talking to me about yesterday. The Lodge requires that the Grand Lodge requires that all lodges conduct quarterly audits. Efficient, thorough audits are good business practice. GapCross implements the guide for reviews by lodge auditing and accounting committees. Appendix 10, Exhibit A. It's a checklist in the document. Using GapCross saves considerable time. Roger just couldn't go on enough about how much time this was going to save. Another feature that stood out to Roger is that the knowledge is embedded into the audit process, and this supports knowledge transfer as audit committees change. Attachments and photos can be added in as you're doing the audit. They're easily accessible that way, and they're securely stored in the system. Recommendations made by audit committees are tracked, and the corrections on through to closure. And GapCross produces professional and consistent reports, consistent from audit to audit as well as across district. And I guess I hit that last point already. It also has built-in secure record management and retention. Let's take a look at the GapCross program itself. Let me just switch over the screen here. So I'm logged in here onto GapCross, and I'm on the home dashboard. I'm going to jump into the program dashboard, and I'll scroll down to the BPOE financial audit, and I'm just going to schedule a new one. I'm going to give it a name, BPOE. Maybe I'll put 2021 Q1 for the name. Okay, now I'm not going to specify, what the client's for there, and we'll just schedule it for today. So I'll go ahead and hit start, and we'll jump right in. So over here on the left, you see the different sections in this audit with the different questions that are being asked. This first one here is just providing some information, so I can simply proceed through it. This is another informational item. One thing I want to point out is that we can add references in. We can add references to certain points inside of a document, training videos, and other material. Now here the audit and accounting manual has been linked in, so if I want to reference something in here, I can bring up that entire manual. Just takes a second to load in here. Okay, let's go back. And I'll hit proceed on that one. Now you notice the introduction section just turned blue, and the two questions in there are blue. That means these have been answered. When I get near the end, and I might have one or two questions that I skipped over I want to come back to that are unanswered, I can click on the unanswered filter, and you notice the ones that have been answered disappear. If I just had one or two left, I'd only see those sections and questions. If I have one that I've put an answer in that really results in an incorrect or a gap, an incorrect situation, I can filter and find those items. Got a lot of new exciting features coming into the next version that's coming out here in February. Corrective action type stuff, tracking, to-do list items built into it. I'm not going to get into all of those features here today. So let's get into some place where there's a question here. I'm in the guidance and scope. Have dues and fees been posted currently by date, name, and in the proper account? You do that review, you can answer yes, you can put in comments, And if I want to attach a document or take a photo of a document, if I'm using a mobile device like a tablet, when I click this little camera icon here, that'll actually bring up the camera. Here I can attach documents. You hit the cancel on this one. And then those would be embedded into the reports. And again, here's a reference. It's going to take me to the audit checklist. That happens to be Appendix A. Okay, so I go through and let's just proceed. I'll do a no. Do revenues from the following entries compare with the source documents and code numbers of the chart of accounts? And here's a checklist type question. Receipts from each fundraising event, rental of real estate, daily bar and lounge receipts, food receipts, whatever it is applies. The other thing that's in here is auditor notes. These would be notes the auditor can take for themselves. They typically do not show up on the reports. And you can also search on comments and auditor notes. So if you want to come back and follow up on something, you can make your notes in here and do that. That pretty much covers the highlights of running the audit. Next thing I want to show you, though, is the programming itself. And I'm just going to jump into one here. We'll jump into this validating a best practice. This is based off of a book on how to validate a best practice. And I just want to jump in here to a particular question. Okay, so here's a section with lots of questions on it. This one has to do with key performance indicators. Now, I'm in the authoring tool right now where these audits can be built up. So here's the question. If I change the words in the question right here and jump back out and start an assessment or audit based off of this, it's instantly updated. I can put in tips that will show up that help a user understand how do I go about answering this question. So these are short tips. If you have larger information, then you add them in as references. And these references, they have a name. You can have additional notes show up, and then the URL where that reference information or a training video or something is stored. So that's going to jump out of that. I'll just show you the different question types. You can expect that you want a number or, a multiple choice, pick one or pick everything that applies, or a checklist type. So there's the different question types, and get back in there. And then there's scoring. So in this case, we could say that any one of these answers is the correct answer. But what we've done is we've selected the graduated type. And so these different question type or different answers carry a different percentage weight of the total weight that this question is worth. In this case, this question is worth 10 points. Other questions in this particular audit might be worth 5 or 1 point, depending on, how much risk they present for the application being assessed. And then we can specify what's correct. And there's a lot of other features in here, but I just want to show you, that adapting these audits to meet your needs is very easy to do, very quick to do. And so as time goes on, we will be making improvements to the program itself, embedding more knowledge in, so that that knowledge is carried forward from committee member to committee member over the years. With that, I want to show you the marketplace as well. If I go to the marketplace, it's not out here right now. It is available, but this is where the assessment will show up, and you'll be able to just go in here and purchase the assessment and begin using it. With that, I'll return back here. Some final thoughts. The audit program, as I said, is available today. Following approval, we will make it available on the marketplace, and the program can be easily improved as new requirements are identified. If you want to learn more, you have any questions, you can get a hold of Roger. I didn't have his information on here. I should get that. But you can certainly also contact myself or Carrie Black, and we'd be glad to talk with you. Thank you.